Karen, knocking on your door as you're closing up your store. Here comes Karen, appearing like a phantom to throw an adult tantrum.
Move on, I want you right here, but you're all across the globe. Never call me back.
Karens are an invasive species, taking over the world, one call to a manager at a time. Average Karens usually have short bobs, or messy buns. While around 85% of Karens have bobs and buns, only 15% of Karens have ponytails, or any other haircut. A Karen's habitat can be at parks, playgrounds, and parking lots, but they are most commonly found at supermarkets or malls. Karens usually come in packs of a single Karen, to 3 Karens. If you spot 4 or more Karens at once, you should get away from the area immediately. We'll be right back after these messages.
Here at Karen University, we offer the finest education, from language lessons.
Now repeat after me. I want to speak to the manager. I want to speak to the manager. Very good.
Biology lessons.
Now this is your stereotypical manager.
And even fashion lessons.
Now you want the back to be as short as possible.
Enroll today to become the best pain in the that you can be at Karen University.
Karens, however, were not always this way. Karens actually start out as Beckys. Beckys are around 16 to 20 years old, and there are only 10% of Beckys in the world. Karens are most of the time around 30 to 40 years old. When they turn 50, they are now considered to be called Susans. Susans are extremely rare, and there are only about 100 Susans left. They are an endangered species.
Let's talk to the head professor at the University of Gacha City Station, Mr. Jinjal, about this subject.
While hunting Susans is not illegal, it's still something that you shouldn't do. Our team of experts capture the Susans in order to study them, and find an antidote to fix them. So, please don't hunt them. If you find a Susan roaming about, call 911 immediately.
There have been many protests about the Susans in captivity.
Let the Susans go. We are doing all that we can with the current situation.
The Susans will be released as soon as we find an antibiotic for them.
It's been several months since this was promised. Here is some behind-the-scenes footage of what is actually happening.
Mr. Jinjal, we have upsetting news.
What could it possibly be this time?
Well, you see, last year we recorded that out of around 7 billion people in the world, only 100 of them are Susans. Since then, the number has increased tremendously. There are now around 800,000 Susans in the world. Mr. Jinjal, I think that it's time to stop playing around with basic antibiotics, and find a real cure.
I'm all in with my mind. Will you ever call me back?
Before we begin, let's go over the 3 most common Karens to come across. First, we have your standard everyday Karens. These Karens can range from 30 to 40 years old. Their basic attack is calling the manager, or threatening to call corporate. Next, we have the Susans. Susans are around 50 to 60 years old. They are more rare to come across. They are usually like gossiping, whether it's online or in public. Lastly, we have the Beckys. Beckys are 16 to 20 years old. Beckys always gossip online, and are usually the most popular girl in their school. There are 2 other Karens to come across. Now, we have the youngest of the Karens, also known as an Emily. Emilys are 0 to 15 years old, and are by far the brattiest of the Karens. They usually cry or act out to get what they want, and it works almost every time. According to the TNIT University, Emilys are very girly and well-groomed. Their hair is usually blonde or brown, and only 10% of Emilys will deviate from this criteria, and may result in a change of hair color and authenticity. Emilys play into the queen bee stereotype, and always have a group of underlings that wish that they were as pretty as her, was as popular as her, etc. We will be right back after these messages.
Come to Gatchable, where quality service is always on the menu. We have the best quality chefs, the best entertainment, and of course, the best food. Please call the number below or go to www.gatchable.com. I repeat, call the number below or go to www.gatchable.com to make a reservation today.
Back to our regularly scheduled program. Being 65 and older, Gertrudes are the oldest and wisest Karens. Most of the Gertrudes have been Karens their whole lives, which means that they know a lot about the Karen lifestyle. This makes them a very dangerous type of Karen, so please stay away from these Karens at all times. They tend to get violent. At this moment, it is unknown what the nuclear Karens look like. However, we have found some sketches of the nuclear Karen. Here is one. Nuclear Karens have extremely violent tendencies, and will do anything just to be proven correct, no matter what the cost. The only nuclear Karen that has been seen is being held in captivity by the FBI for further investigation, and will not be shown in public until they have her under control.
Due to popular request, we will be talking about the infamous male Karen, or Ken. Ken is the male version of the original Karen. Kens, just like their female counterpart, are around 30 to 40 years old. Kens are actually very rare, and not seen much as of today. Walters are the male counterparts of the Susans. Walters are the final stage of the male Karens, because there is no equivalent to a Gertrude for the male Karens. Walters are usually very wealthy, which makes them feel entitled. Brocks are the male version of the Beckys, but they are far more bratty and annoying. Brocks are usually the sons of the Walters, which make them feel entitled as well. Most Brocks use TikTok, and do a lot of TikTok with the Beckys. In fact, they are usually dating a Becky. Brocks like to get involved in after-school activities, like football or soccer. We will return after these messages. Ethans are the male version of the Emilys. They are around 0 to 15 years old, and aren't as bratty as their female counterpart. They love video games, and usually play games that are trending, like Minecraft, Fortnite, and, if their parents allow them, Grand Theft Auto. Overall, the Ethans are probably the easiest to deal with out of all the male versions. In the next episode, Mr. Ginger will be answering some questions that you may have, so please leave some questions in the comments below. Let's go over all of the female Karens from youngest to oldest. Mr. Ginger and Miss Gabby will be answering questions now.
I don't wanna be alone, spend too much time by myself. So many things that I still don't know. It's time for me to move on. I want you right here, but you're all across the globe. Never call me back, even though you're on your phone. Wishful thinking gets the best of me, hoping that it's still you and me. Yeah, I thought we'd always shine, just some time off we'd be fine. waste time. Just some time off, we'd be fine.